Hello, everyone. Welcome today's Facebook Live talk. Let me check a little some of the tech problems that we face. Sorry for being late for a few minutes. Just give me a second and I will check something. I'll get back to you. Great. Everything seems okay, despite this minor, small, little tech problems that they keep popping. We're here today, and I'm very excited to share this live talk with my guest, Helena Georgiou, the Braveheart expert. Helena, welcome.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Maria. It's a great honor and privilege to be here and have this opportunity to express my voice. Thank you.
Thank you. So, Helena Georgiou is a Braveheart expert. She's a transformational speaker. She's the co-author of this amazing book. You see? Let me see. Breaking the Silence. The Voices of Survivors, 21 Stories of Resilience and Transformation. She's sharing her journey from trauma to triumph, how she had the courage, she found the courage, the inner strength to stop silencing herself, find the way to speak her truth, and this powerful and transformational journey she's going to share with us today. So I'm very happy that we're sharing this live together. And just a quick little bit left the reference for me. My name is Maria Vangelo, for those who don't know me. I am an accredited coach from EMCC Global, endurance and accountability coach, certified trainer and certified accountant. And I'm very pleased to share this half an hour with Helena. After we finish the live talk, we're going to have 5 minutes for those who have questions to ask Helena, whatever you want to learn from her, additionally to what she's going to share with us. And she's also sharing an explicit gift for all the live streamers. So please put your email in the chat. So after we finish, you will receive her gift. So let's get started. Helena, the stage is yours now.
Wow, thank you. Thank you. It's really been an incredible journey, as it is when we choose to face our biggest fears. For me, for those of you who don't know, it was trauma, childhood abuse, domestic violence, narcissism, family dysfunction, which of course affected my relationships, a lot of my self-worth, my self-esteem, confidence. And it took me down a road where most of us go through experiences like that, any kind of trauma, where it could be a car accident, maybe somebody who's experienced war or a major tragedy, or even a natural disaster. People worldwide suffer with various mental health issues due to that, like PTSD, for example. And through my journey, I was able to overcome this when all the silencing manifested in my neck. And I woke up midlife with a serious stiff neck, not understanding why I had this extreme pain. And it led me on a journey within as a holistic practitioner. I know, I'm sure as well as many of you do out there, that our body speaks to us. Our body communicates with us. And we need to stop and listen. However, in nowadays, we are so busy just doing, and we forget, and I admit it as a woman, to stop and listen. And this is what my body had told me that day. So I immediately went within and discovered that my body was dealing with a whole lot of trauma after doing various psychotherapy and other alternative therapies to discover what was happening within me. And I gave myself the opportunity and the permission, now that's important, to allow these feelings to come up. I worked through different processes: breath work, yoga, meditation, mantras, counseling, journaling, many different techniques. And it took me a few years, and different things unfolded throughout the journey. A lot of inner child work, the mother wound, the father wound, and it was like a whole lot of shedding of the skin and just letting it all go, letting it all flow. So this is what inspired me to take the stage in April 23 with the Woman of Truth here in Paphos, Cyprus, at the Women's Integrative Health event, which was an amazing breakthrough, what we call a wow moment. And I was able to speak my truth and for the first time be heard, express my voice, my authenticity, and be supported by a loving environment, moving from being invisible to being visible. So this is the power of the voice, and this is what I have been called to share, to encourage, to inspire. And what I aspire to do as my mission is to encourage those, to help them to overcome their fears, their silencing, through courage and bravery, through talking about the tough stuff when they are ready, once they've done the deep inner work. This is not something that happens overnight. It's a process from A to Z, in my opinion, in my experience. And of course, having the right support, the psychotherapist, having friends that I could speak to and share who supported me along my journey, and the amazing group and support from Women of Truth that really helped me and still does today. I'm very much a volunteer and part of that amazing group. Recently, we came back from Dubai, another amazing experience there with the Women Integrative Health, going globally, meeting awesome women, sharing my book, doing book signing, and it's just unfolding beautifully. The book was published this year, January, and became the first #1 in Amazon as a bestseller. So that was another confirmation for me, I think, in a very humble way, that I'm on the right path, that my voice is allowing me, whether it's verbally or written, to express my truth, and it's being heard. It's time now. It's needed. And there are so many benefits. And this is what I'm here tonight to share and inspire and listen to anyone out there who has any questions. And if for any reason would prefer to contact me by email instead of speaking face to face, I'm open to that as well. So thank you.
So thank you, Helena. I would like you to add a little bit on when you say it's very important to give your permission for the feelings to come in the surface, in your eyes, so that you can face them. Can you please elaborate a little bit on this? Explain what you mean to give the permission and what is the power behind giving your permission?
Sure, of course. So to give ourselves permission means that we are ready in that moment, and from now on, we are ready to let go of the past, to work through that trauma or pain or heartbreak or divorce or loss of job, whatever that fear and loss is that you've experienced, to give yourself and allow yourself to shift forward. But it's baby steps, one at a time. And sometimes you can go 1, 2, 3, and then back 1, 2, and then 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. And that's part of the fun. And I like to call it a roller coaster ride. That's how I explain my journey. It's up and down and then round and loop to loop, and yeah, all part of the fun. So from allowing yourself, you then give yourself that power to shift that mindset, to shift and what we call transform, or even some might know the word alchemize, where we create the life we want now from that space that we had filled with all that unknown or unaware. When it's serious trauma, it gets built in the cells, it's stored in the cells. So the emotions come up sometimes as triggers, with anger, with bouts of moodiness, or with perhaps depression. Like myself, I went through all of those, including suicidal thoughts. So that's a normal part of a trauma reaction. It comes out when you are ready, when the time is right, when you listen, when you stop and say, enough is enough. You kind of draw the line in the sand, you could say. Some people say you lay down your sword, however you like to express it. But that is when I knew my soul was calling me to something bigger, greater, deeper. I didn't know what it was at the time, but I was supported by a professional psychotherapist who led me along that path, with the great support of my husband, very understanding as well. And I was able to work through this with one good friend as well, and give myself permission to cry, give myself permission to be happy when I felt happy, give myself permission to allow being in the unknown, where you don't know what's next, you don't know why, but you're just allowing your emotions to come up and welcoming them. You're not suppressing them anymore.
Okay, and what happens when we are speaking now, speaking your truth, and how does that impact your life in a positive way? So give us some examples of what happens to the person, to the body, to the mental health, when someone suppresses the feelings, when someone suppresses the truth, when someone suppresses and silences the oneself. Of course, you mentioned from your part that you had a problem with your neck and that was manifested on your body, but from your experience, from the people you were working together, give us a little more examples about on this.
Of course. So within myself, it started as the neck. But of course, through the process, because it had been suppressed, and we're talking about midlife when I discovered this. So let's say 45 years. And what happened was it manifested a lot in my womb, which is natural when it comes to sexual abuse. And there were days where I would have such sharp pains, but I just knew there was some healing going on. I trusted the process because I was understanding. But often when we don't, we suppress it by maybe taking a tablet for the pain, or perhaps, seeking other solutions where people can turn to addiction, various kinds of addictions, whether it be alcohol, sex, food, it can be anything, hard drugs. So that is one of the negative side effects. And it can take you down the deep, dark rabbit hole. Otherwise, it can turn to be fatal. Whereas, let's say I ignored my neck, it could have turned into something more serious. And I remember trying physiotherapy, and that just wasn't helping. It made me feel worse. So I realized, having worked with women through my holistic practices, that the body needs more than that. I understood, having seen through my clients and now experiencing through myself, and having done womb work and womb workshops, that there is something that's ready to shift. Yes, it's painful, of course, because it's been embedded in my cells. And there is actually research by Dr. Joe, I forget his name right now, it'll come to me, Dispenser, that's right. And he proves through neuroscience, and I highly recommend, if you're into this stuff, if you want proof, the science part of it, how it affects the brain and the body, he does tests and does amazing things through the body-mind connection and the heart as well. So when you feel ready and when you give yourself permission, it's like your heart, your soul is calling for this change, this healing, this deep inner healing. And it's not something, in my experience, that you can explain. I'm sure you've been there sometime in your life where you've had something occur or some feeling, like we call intuition as women. And this is what I felt I was being led by, my intuition. So I invite you to do that sometimes when you're in these places of uncertainty, to tune into that feeling of what your body is trying to tell you, and listen. And give yourself permission, even if it means you've got to go in the bath, lock the door, say, give me silence for 30 minutes. I want my candles and music and crystals and everything, flowers in the water, whatever makes you happy. These are tools that we work with and helps us to not suppress the emotions. It takes courage. It takes bravery. It takes a lot of ups and downs. But you know when you are ready. No one can push you. It's not something you can be pushed to do. It's something you are more like called to do.
Okay, thank you, Helena. I would like to ask you now, someone that has been in silence for so long, it's very important what you just pointed out, that you need to start listening to your body. But let's say that a person is in silence for too long, and there are some manifestation in the body, I mean, from all this trauma. But besides that, is there anything else that is important for a person who has been for so long in silence to do? These little baby steps you mentioned before, like the small steps that you can reach to a point where you can find the strength to give permission to yourself. I mean, before you reach to that point, is there anything else you can do to build the courage to move on from your
Absolutely.
experience?
Yes. For me, I personally always had a connection to the nature, and I would love to be outside. I just always was called to the water, the sea, to sit and meditate in nature. I never understood why at the time, but I felt that that helped me on the journey with expressing, because I would sit and sometimes speak out, shout out, and ask why or help me. And even though there was no one there physically, I understand that there was definitely a higher power that was there supporting me. And that's it. You find your way, that place in you or outside you, like for me, nature, let's say, is your supporting system, although you might not realize it at the time. And you're able to just be yourself and feel, most importantly, that you're safe in that moment. So for someone who's been silenced, like for me, I suffered years with all my life virtually with serious tonsillitis. And I always wondered why. And after doing all my inner work, working with the energy systems, it's all to do with the throat chakra here. And that connection to the heart, and that connection to the womb. So you have the womb, heart, voice connection. And that's what helps us, whether we're writing it down, what we're feeling in a diary or journal, whether we feel we hear a song and we sing and we dance, that's another form of expressing it. If we're not ready to face someone, because I know it's not for everybody. I know there's some people who choose to write their story and never come out, and that's okay. You do what feels best for you, but to break that silence is a personal journey. It can be through writing, it can be through singing, it could be through just telling one person. And the power of speaking the truth, if we go into the deep, dark secrets, which was something I had revealed in my family, And it's going down that path and realizing that you have so much to share, and you have so much that you haven't shared, and that there are many out there in your similar position, even worse, and they need your support and your story. That if you're not ready, that's okay. But for me, that's how this has unfolded. And when you speak your truth, you are giving yourself that confidence. You're giving yourself that power, the self-acceptance, the self-acknowledgement, the confidence, because you're being authentic. You're being true to yourself. And when we suppress that and we choose to be silent, you know what happens? We are betraying ourselves. To thyself be true. But when we are untrue, that is when it can be fatal to our being and our body. And we create the imbalance within us, creating the dis-ease. When I chose to speak my truth and I faced my perpetrator, that was when I knew that my healing process had come to a place where the power of the voice had given me the courage and the bravery to step into who I am, my being, my purpose, my journey, and all that was taken away, I am using now to build the best life ever, that the rest of my life be the best of my life. And this is what I offer my clients, this coaching, this support, my Braveheart breakthrough expertise, is to use the voice, your voice, to express yourself so you can liberate yourself and create and manifest the life you deserve from your heart space through your authenticity.
I love
We can
that.
never get back what we lost. What's gone is gone. What's done is done. It cannot be undone. But what can be done is to be in the now and move forward with the right support around you, of those who are lifting you up.
So I love that, Helena. Speak your truth to liberate yourself, to live authentically. And when we say live authentically, live what you truly are, who you are, know who you had to become in order to be to make it up to this point, whatever the circumstances were, whatever battles or difficulties each person faces. You had to become someone, so that you could bear that pain and the suffering, to be able to go on with your life. But speaking your truth, from what I hear you saying, is giving yourself permission to be exactly who you are, and not who the society or the environment or the people around want you to be. You just be you. And this is a very powerful message, and the courage to find the courage to speak out your truth. So Helena she has a workshop on the womb. Let us know a little bit more about this, Helena, when it is and what's all about.
Of course, thank you. The womb workshop will be held on Sunday, the 21st of July, here in Paphos at the Healing Space by Katarina in Cloraca. And the event will be held from 6:30 until 8:30 p.m. It's a 2-hour workshop. And we work through the rights of the womb. You can become a practitioner and use this workshop experience to share yourself and do womb workshops. But most importantly, it's the journey through discovering the power of our womb and the voice of our womb and what it's saying. And we work through that with essential oils, with crystals, with a lovely meditation connecting to your womb. And then we work through the energy and the healing of that. And we ended with some lovely womb oracle cards that give you guidance about what your womb is telling you. And it's very much a very safe, sacred space for women where you can speak about many different things. We go onto the subject of yoni eggs, the menstrual cycle connected to the moon cycle. So it's a lovely place to be if you feel you are called to, and it's always an honor to hold this space for the woman.
Okay, thank you. Was also very important when someone is silenced and is in the process to give self permission to speak up, is to have a supportive group, as Helena said before. This journey is very lonely, but also it's not possible to carry all this burden on your own. So you need, and it's best for you to have people that support you with no criticism. Just be there to listen and hold your hand to move forward. So is there anything else, Helena, you would like to share tonight at this live talk before we ask if anybody wants to make a question, or is there anything else?
Yes, of course, absolutely. Thank you. I totally love what you said and agree with you, Maria, that it is a lonely journey. It can be. And having the right support is crucial and vital. So you know you're not alone. You don't have to suffer in silence anymore. This is such a beautiful part of the healing journey, the transformation. And when we choose not to, it's often sometimes because of fear of rejection or fear of judgment. I was there for many years, and it took me a long time to find the courage and the bravery and to work on myself to be able to stand up in front of people and share my story. That was a huge emotional moment, but it wasn't for the glory. It's never about that. It's the message. It's the message that I'm here, that I'm representing, to share and to encourage and welcome other women to do the same for themselves when and if they're ready, in whatever way, you know, even if it's an online call without the camera. That's great, because I understand that veil that we've been wearing for all the silencing, and to take it away, it's like you want to peep, oh, the light's too bright. No, I'm going to put it back. And you work through that process of having the courage to eventually move it from one eye to two eyes, and then eventually lift it off and say, okay, well, this is me, you know, hello, this is me, this is who I am, and I love who I am. And I didn't ask for what happened. It's how life unfolded. Though I strongly believe that our truth needs to be revealed, and our presence warrants to be acknowledged. We are here for a reason. We are all part of this beautiful puzzle of life, and every person has something amazing to offer. And our voices need to be heard and expressed. And we have a great amount of power in our voices. And I remember doing my interview in February this year with a lovely woman from Austria who has a yoga retreat, and she interviewed me about breaking the silence. And it was just beautiful to hear how when you open your heart, you get the right support, and more come to you and more help you to flow and to share and encourage you on your path. So you feel like your tribe is growing, that you know you're even more powerful, you're even more supported, you're even more ready to go full force now. We're not just trotting on the horse. No, we're ready to gallop, you know, to go out there on the wild horse and gallop now. So this is what it's about. It's giving yourself that permission to feel free, to be free, to live free, and to know that you don't need to suffer in silence. Your voice is a high vibration. We all have a vibration that is important part of the symphony of life. So I honor you for your journey and thank you for this opportunity, and welcome those who are ready to share whatever it is, in whatever way, in whatever time, to listen to your heart, to listen to your being, to go within. And you can do it. I did it. I know you can do it too. You're not alone.
Yeah, you're not alone. That's huge. That's huge, because we normally forget that when people suffer, they feel that they're suffering on their own, and that they're only persons that are suffering. So you're not alone. That's a huge that's a big message for Helena. Thank you so much for being here. If there is anyone who wants to make a question, we're here, available. Otherwise, put in the chat your email, and Helena will email you the gift, a beautiful gift for you to start working on your courage.
Yeah, it's great. It's helps with the throat to express yourself from that tightness, that lock. It's almost like a key that helps you to unlock your voice, your throat, so you can express it in whatever way, if not verbally, through writing or journaling or dancing, whatever helps you, because the throat chakra, this throat area, is the connection from the heart to the mind. So when that is clear, you're getting amazing insights coming through, and guidance and power. So you can contact me on my website. It's www.helenabraveheart.com. HelenaBraveheart. So thank you for your time and for joining us tonight, Maria. I am deeply grateful. It's been another amazing experience, and woohoo, we did it. Yay.
Thank you, Helena. Thank you for being here and sharing all this wisdom. Thank you so much.
Till we meet again. Bye.
Till again. Bye-bye. Thank you.
Bye.